Hey friend, we have a legitimate crisis going on, pandemic, obviously, coronavirus stuff, loneliness, fear, all of the negatives are arising, their minds are struggling, and you have a arsenal of weapons inside of you, and there is one discipline you need to do in order to untap the weapons that you have in order to fight this loneliness, in order to fight the fear, in order to fight the scarcity, in order to fight the other deadly sins. I wrote some more down: lust, envy, many others. There are a catapult, an arsenal of things coming against your mind right now, and you need to do this one thing in order to block them out and live free from this fear thing that's going on right now. One thing is a spiritual discipline, and it is called solitude. What is solitude? Solitude is inner fulfillment. It is simply being alone. We're kind of being forced to do that, but even in our aloneness, if we don't dedicate specific times, practices to this solitude thing, I'm going to talk to you about how to do that. But if we don't focus our attention on this, then our brains, our minds, the activity is going to go on and control it, and we're going to be under the whim of these emotions and feelings instead of being in control of these emotions and feelings, having self-control in this. And you absolutely can do it. It's fairly simple. The benefit of this, I learned this from one of the best books on spiritual disciplines. Richard Foster's says, we can cultivate an inner solitude and silence that sets us free from loneliness and fear. And that is absolutely what we need right now. We need freedom from loneliness and fear. Two things happen whenever you engage in solitude. One, you're able to hear your mind. Let me give you one other definition. This one comes from Dallas Willard. By solitude, we mean being out of human contact, being alone, and being so for lengthy periods of time. Human contact lingers long after it is, in one sense, over. So what's going on is the human contact is lingering in your mind. It is clinging. Demons, whatever, are making these things set and embedding them in your personality, from the news, from family texting things, from friends texting things. And absolutely, there is real stuff going on. There is legitimate fear going on. There is a reason to have fear. But it can't control you, and that is what this will do is let you control those fear feelings, and that's the game. Heaven on earth, because it is here now, not hell on earth, because that is also here now, and that's what we got to fight against. So two things happen. One, you hear yourself, you hear your thoughts, you hear what do you actually think about this, what do you actually feel about this, and if they're bad, then the second part of it is, in this time, you will realize that you are never alone, because whenever we are quiet enough, whenever our mind is clear enough to hear God, God speaks to you. He absolutely speaks to you every day, and we got to be quiet enough to hear it. I wrote what he would say right now. No matter what happens, I got your back. He says that in any time, in all time, but specifically right now, coronavirus absolutely has your back. And in order to hear that, your mind has to be quiet enough. You have to be away from the human interaction thing for long enough periods of time in order for this to set in, for you to realize it. It's a big deal. I wish I could express the weight of this large enough. How I started in this is a simple morning routine, 15 minutes every morning, just focusing on being silent, focusing on hearing, listening, and speaking and praying and talking out loud my thoughts, my feelings, and boy, do we have a lot of those to share right now. I do have a bunch of ways to practice solitude as we go. It's on an older blog that I'll put a link in the description. So many of them we can't do because we are stuck at home, but many of them we absolutely can do. This is really heavy. I hope that it gave you some kind of glimpse into a hope that you have, that you can grab onto, that a spiritual discipline of solitude is available to you, and the abundant life is still available to you on this side of heaven and on the other side, and solitude is the number one way to begin to tap into that. I'm Josh, preferableife.com. Love you by your side. Catch you in the next one.